what we discovered when we dug in and did, analysis on all the available homes, trends, utility rates, inflation, growth acceleration, everything, what we found was that not a single market reaches saturation until 2035, and most markets won't reach saturation until around 2040. So we are talking about almost 2 decades of insane business that's going to be done just in the retrofit market alone. And that does not include going back to those customers, selling them expansion systems, which we know is already going to happen because people are using more energy than ever. I just doubled my system that I installed 4 years ago because my wife got an electric car and we started using more AC, and all these things are happening in our society. So we've got expansion systems we're going to be selling. We have decades of retrofit market growth, and that does not even account for new home additions and new home construction and builds. So some people think about a gold rush, right? And they think about like, oh, how much money can I make in the next year or two? And how much impact can I have? I want you to think about a 10-year vision for what is possible in your life with this company. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have not even seen the beginning of this. This is all training ground. Truly consider that for a moment, that you are in training and that the real game has not even started. From 2026 to 2033, this industry will be growing 5 times faster than it is today. 5 times faster. Annual growth rates, 5 times faster. And it's already growing pretty darn fast. Why is that? Because of the consistent increase of utility prices, which are only going in one way and are only going to make our product more competitive forever, because of the impact of the regulations and the full, as the IRA gets fully baked and you have domestic content provisions, low income provisions, and all these other things that can shift in, that tax credit actually goes from 30% to much higher. And we're going to figure out how to get those benefits. And so you factor in the regulations, you factor in utility increases, and you factor in constant, grid and climatic instability, which is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Now factor in the fact that we're innovating with NEM 3. Storage prices are already coming down and the writing is on the freaking wall. We are going to replace the monopoly utilities and we are going to build a sustainable energy future for mankind. We're going to build a more resilient energy future for mankind. We are going to create the future. It's happening now. And the crazy part is the biggest growth years are 26 to 33. So I want you to consider that for the next 2 years, you're just in training. You're just preparing yourself. If you have a real vision for the future, I don't even know how successful some of you could be by 2033. It's mind-boggling to think where this platform could be. And I want to end on that note. Because there's a lot of companies out there, there's a lot of companies that are going to be coming and trying to take a piece of this enormous space. But I will tell you why we are going to win and why Powur is going to be the largest clean energy platform selling and fulfilling products on planet Earth. And frankly, yes, it's, what I shared at the beginning of this. I think so much of that innovation is born from really why you do what you do and the intent behind everything. But if you look at, sort of just tactically what this organization is focused on, we are building the ultimate distributed model. The ultimate distributed model. And I am so bullish and so betting that the future is distributed, not centralized. All right, just think about this for a minute. What have all the trends on our planet been over the last, decade and a half? From centralized media to social media, content creators in the billions, all of us creating the content that everyone shares. From centralized, everything, whether it was taxi industry or hospitality industry, to platforms that basically decentralized that and gave anyone the chance to, drive someone around and ride share, or anyone the chance to, rent a room in their house or whatever the heck it is. And then you've got this massive, centralized power grid, right? And we know that centralized power grids are inflexible, they are not resilient, they are, monopolies. And solar, right, is distributed energy. It's generating energy locally, everyone generating it. It's not centralized. And so just think about all this for a second, right? All the trends are distributed, but nobody's actually built a distributed platform for solar and clean energy products. It's all still centralized. Think about our competitors. Think about the vertically integrated model. Centralized, centralized, centralized. I'm going to give you one example for why distributed is going to win and why Powur is going to be the number one player in that space. Over the last month, we had this historic surge in California, the NEM2 surge. Insane. The most sales in the history of America really happened in the month of March. For any state, it was absolutely mind-boggling. During that surge, because of this insane urgency for homeowners to get in before the rules change around net metering, we did almost 2,000 more sales than we thought we were going to do. Now, in a vertically integrated model, okay, let's just take one example, site surveys. You've got a set number of trucks, a set number of people. You throw 2,000 more jobs on that. You can only do, 3 jobs a day. What happens? Companies are booked out a month and a half on site surveys. Because we built a distributed site survey model called our on-demand site surveyor program. It's basically the Uber for site survey labor. We have over 400 active on-demand site surveyors on this platform. When a job comes in, we immediately send that out. It pings everybody in the app and it says who's available to take this. And whoever gobbles it up first gets the job. It shows up in their queue. They know exactly what they need to do. They go, they take all the photos. Those are automatically uploaded to our platform. We've got all the assets we need to then move into design. Guess what happened with those 2,000 projects? Nothing. It was business as freaking usual because the flex power of a distributed network, those 400 on-demand site surveyors assumed that volume really like it was nothing. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, this stuff really works. Like distributed really works. Now, I'm not going to say that we figured out everything, but what I am going to say is that we are further along in figuring out the distributed model than anyone else on planet Earth. And over the next 18 months, as we invest even more in our installer success platform and our labor enablement products and platforms, we're going to continue to see the distributed model absolutely shine. And I've just got all my money betting that the future of distributed energy is probably going to be led by a distributed company. That's Powur. From our network to our sales force to our freaking internal teammates who are all virtual, and there's no centralized infrastructure, which is one of the reasons why we have such an advantage financially. Our company does not have the enormous cash drain every single 2 weeks of all the physical infrastructure. And that's made us so much more financially healthy than a lot of our competitors who really are like a one boom or bust cycle away from going out of business. And that's what we see over and over and over and over again in the solar industry is companies struggle, get in a cash crunch, and can't make that payroll because managing cash flow in this industry is very difficult. The distributed model has proven to be a winner. We don't pay money until we make money because it's all distributed, and that's allowed Powur's cash balance to grow to over $45 million without needing to raise all this money or anything. It's just a healthier, better model. So there's so many reasons why I'm bullish, but I hope in just a handful of minutes tonight, you've been able to see why Powur is a difference maker, why if you come and be part of this vision and mission with us and have a 10-year mindset, a true vision for what you can create over the next 10 years, that literally there is limitless possibilities for you. absolutely limitless possibilities on this platform right now, today. We have not even seen the start of where this industry and where this company and where the leaders and the human beings that are part of this company are going over the next 10 years. What we all create together will blow the world's mind. I know that for a fact. I see it. It's crystal clear. It's coming. It's here. We're leading that future. And this is a phenomenal time for you to come join us and plant your flag. And let's go out there and truly do something disruptive and innovative and that makes a dent, really makes a dent on sustainable energy adoption for this whole planet.